be a bold voice for him. The Story of Saint Telemachus. Isaiah 52:7-8. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who proclaims peace, who brings glad tidings of good things, who proclaims salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. Your watchmen shall lift up their voices. With their voices they shall sing together. For they shall see eye to eye, when the Lord brings back Zion. In the 4th century, lived a Christian, named Telemachus, in a remote village, tending his garden, and spending much time in prayer. One day, he believed he heard the voice of God, telling him to go to Rome, so he obeyed, setting out on foot. Some weeks later, weary from his journey, he arrived in Rome about the time of a great festival. The little man followed the crowd, surging through the streets into the Colosseum. He saw the gladiators standing before the emperor and proclaiming, "We, who are about to die, salute you." Then Telemachus realized that these men were going to fight to the death, for the entertainment of the cheering crowd. So he cried out in a loud voice, "In the name of Christ, stop!" Yet the games began, so he pushed his way through the crowd, climbed over the wall, and dropped onto the floor of the arena. The entire Colosseum watched this tiny figure rushing toward the gladiators, crying, "In the name of Christ, stop!" The gladiators thought it was part of the show and began laughing. But in a few moments, they realized it was not part of the show, and then the crowd became angry. Telemachus stood his ground, insistently pleading with the gladiators to stop their bloody show, when one of them plunged a sword into the saint's body. He fell to the sand. As he was dying, his last words were, "In the name of Christ, stop!" Then a strange thing happened. The gladiators stood there, looking at the tiny Christian, lying there dead. A hush fell over the Colosseum. Way up in the upper rows, a man stood and made his way to the exit. Others followed. In dead silence, one by one, everyone left the Colosseum. The year was 404. And that day saw the last battle to the death between gladiators in the Roman Colosseum. Telemachus' martyrdom initiated an historic ban on gladiator fights by the Roman Emperor Honorius. Never again in the great stadium did men kill each other for the entertainment of the crowd. One tiny man's bold voice, one voice, reshaped Roman history and saved thousands of lives by fearlessly proclaiming the truth in God's name. You may be a little man or woman spending time alone with Yeshua, Jesus. And he may be preparing you in the quiet place for a moment when you will be called to raise your voice in some public square or stadium, to fearlessly stand for his truth, even if it might cost your life. Remember Telemachus, whose voice changed the world, because God's word was behind it. Boldness is not bravado, but is rooted in deep conviction based on deep relationship and unswerving obedience. And its effects resound through history. So cultivate that intimate relationship with him, and be ready to be launched into the arena of death-dealing humanity. Your lack of fear, and your love for others, will reveal Yeshua, whom you love, to many souls. God bless you.